Why does making friends as an adult feel so
What
hard?
should I wear on a first
What the
date?
hell is a form?
But that
Why
hookup
is
was
buying my
not
first
good.
home
What
so
do I want my
frustrating?
life to look like in 5 years?
We want to know too.
Since 2012, The Everygirl has been an online destination to help women around the world achieve the life of their dreams. Now, we're excited to bring you the same inspiring content with the Everygirl podcast.
Welcome back to the Everygirl podcast and a very happy Thursday to you all. I wanted to try something a little different with today's episode because, first of all, I heard from a lot of you that you love the recap-y kind of episodes where I pull the best advice from past episodes, and I get that because when I listen to podcasts, I'm on a walk or I'm folding laundry or I'm in the car. I do not have the time to write down when I hear a good tip or something that I want to implement in my life, so I get it. And the other reason I wanted to try this new format is because I've been thinking about how we can all consume content more mindfully and intentionally. Like, I feel like I read so many self-help books and we'll see such great tips on TikTok or hear great advice on podcasts. But does it really change my life that much? Not as much as it could. And here's why. We're consuming content all day, every day, but we're not applying it to our lives. We're not using information to create action steps. We're just consuming more and more. So this episode, being at the beginning of a new month, is going to be a little reset. Monthly reflection is so powerful. You gain so much self-awareness and clarity, and you know all the good energy and motivation that you feel during New Year's? A monthly reset allows you to tap into that feeling so much more frequently. So we're going to recap last month and go through what I think are some powerful takeaways from all of the episodes, and then talk about how to actually apply them so you can begin intentionally creating action from all of the amazing things that we've talked about and learned from our guests in April. And then stay tuned. We will also get into setting intentions for May. It's such a problem. One thing I hate about the internet is that I cannot say the word May without hearing, it's gonna be May. So let's recap our biggest takeaways from April, and I'm going to give you some homework assignments so you can apply what we've learned from April to your life. I feel like the theme of the podcast this month was getting over mindsets that are holding us back. I personally feel like I had a lot of aha moments with my career life. I really identified and got over a lot of limiting beliefs that I feel like were trying to keep me safe, but were just keeping me small. All of the episodes this month, pretty much. I mean, I was blown away at your guys' response to every episode we had, and so much of what came up in all the episodes was letting go. So let's get into some highlights from this month that you can begin applying to your own life. The first thing I hope you learn to let go of from this month is self-judgment with our wellness routines. In my Ask The Everygirl episode back in the very beginning of April, which feels like forever ago, it was episode number 169, and the question I got was how to strengthen willpower. My answer was that the problem is never actually willpower. This concept of like, you're eating cookies and you're skipping workouts because you don't have willpower, that's just another way wellness culture wants you to feel bad about yourself. When I work with my clients, I always say that if you're unable to reach your goal, the problem is not you. The problem is that the goal isn't right for you. So for example, maybe you're trying to force yourself to go to the gym every day and you just are not getting up the motivation to do it. And that's because a hot girl walk is actually the best form of movement for you. The gym wouldn't actually feel as good. I see this a lot with clients who are trying to eat healthier, and they're like, I'm eating really clean, but then I totally binge on the weekend or I eat cookies at night. And I'm like, yeah, you're forcing yourself to eat bland chicken and steamed veggies. Of course that goal won't stick because it's not the right goal for you. Of course, wanting to eat healthier is great, but the goal of eating boring chicken and veggies for every meal is not right. Of course, your body's like, give me some dopamine, give me pleasure, because you're putting yourself in a dopamine deficiency by not enjoying your meals. so often we get mad at ourselves for not being motivated without asking ourselves, why is the goal we're trying to accomplish not motivating enough? We put so much pressure on ourselves. We judge ourselves so hard and feel so bad about everything. So, especially when it comes to wellness routines, the only purpose of which is to make you feel good, by the way, I hope that the way you take care of your body never includes guilt, shame, or judgment. But the truth is, for most of us, it does. And it's not your fault. Like, look at this culture and this billion-dollar industry that has been set up to make you feel insecure and like you constantly need to be seeking answers outside of yourself. Try this new supplement, try this new workout plan, listen to this doctor, or you need this new ritual or this wellness routine to be more worthy, become unrecognizable because you aren't good enough as you are. So, my action step for you, your homework assignment, is to notice where your wellness routine is actually leading to self-judgment or pressure, and then stop it. Change the thought or maybe change the routine altogether. Because the truth is that if any wellness practice, anything you do in the name of health, is causing you any amount of stress or guilt or disconnection from self, it is doing you more harm than good. Another truly transformative takeaway came from episode 170 with Brianna Wiest. So many incredible highlights in this episode, but she talks about the biggest lesson she learned this past year is to stop saving. And I think that this mindset that we have to save up or wait for something is a mindset that we can all work to let go of. Brianna shares this quote a few times in the episode: "Don't open your safe to find ashes." This quote comes from an excerpt from the writer Annie Dillard, who writes, "The impulse to save something good for a better place later is the signal to spend it now. Anything you do not give freely and abundantly becomes lost to you. You open your safe and find ashes." So many of us are constantly saving or waiting. I am so guilty of this. Like, I will save my favorite t-shirts and leggings for a special day, like a Friday, or later in my laundry cycle. If we get a good pasta or a good wine for a gift, I will save it for a special occasion, whatever that means, instead of just having it on a Wednesday night. It's like saving the good china for only special occasions. It's saving your favorite perfume or not wearing your favorite shoes on a regular average outing. These all may sound like really small things, but this mentality shows up in everything we do, including the big decisions in our lives. I'm sure you've had the experience where you thought, I'll ask for the promotion when I'm ready, or I'll launch my business when I feel ready, or I'll sign up for the dating app when I feel ready, or I'll buy a house when I'm ready. We think this on a regular basis. We are always waiting and never living. Because the truth is, there is no such thing as feeling fully ready. Like, we know that, right? And the amount of times that I've saved the good sauce or fancy chocolate only for them to become expired before I get to eat them, like, we're saving and waiting so much, we actually lose opportunities. Don't open your safe and find ashes. So, my next homework assignment for you and for myself is to stop saving. Practice with the small things. Spray your favorite perfume on a random Tuesday. Get out your favorite china for random Wednesday dinner, if fancy china is still a thing people have. I don't know. Open the good wine, not because it's a special occasion, but because you're alive. Stop saving fun for the weekends. Go out with your friends on a Monday night because you want to. And hopefully this will start to trickle to bigger things. Book your dream vacation instead of waiting for when you have more time. Launch your business. You're as ready as you'll ever be. Buy the house and make it your dream home instead of waiting for an impossible perfect house or perfect circumstance or perfect price that will never come. Episode 174 with Dr. Jody Carrington was another such a powerful one. I heard from so many of you that you said it was life-changing, and I completely agree. I have so many takeaways from this episode, but one that I think we can really start putting into action is to practice empathy. I've said so many times that empathy is our greatest superpower, and Dr. Jody really explained the psychology behind why. She says that the antidote to burnout is empathy. It's not rest, it's not stress relief, it's empathy. When we're burnt out or when we experience stress, we lose access to compassion. So when we practice empathy, because it's a skill, it's not a personality trait, it not only improves our relationship, but it brings us out of fight or flight mode. You've experienced this. It's the stressful day where everything is going wrong and you're sitting in traffic, running late, and a car cuts you off. So you go, "You asshole, how dare you?" And it further just perpetuates the stress, right? Even though you have accidentally cut off people many times before. So you can practice empathy when your brain goes to that asshole. Instead, it's okay, he must be running super late for something important, or he's having a bad day. Maybe he didn't notice. It's not about the actual guy. Maybe he's an asshole in real life. I don't know. But what happens is your stress lowers. You regain access to the best parts of you, as Dr. Jody would say. Empathy is also our greatest superpower because it's the secret to success. As she said in the episode, if you can make other people feel seen, you will be more successful than you ever imagined. She quotes a hockey coach who said, "You should see how fast I can get a kid to skate if I know the name of their dog." You motivate people so much more when you make them feel seen, when you empathize with them. I really believe empathy is the secret to everything. It is the secret to your own happiness. It is the secret to career success. It is the secret to the best relationships. So your next homework assignment is to practice empathy. When you get cut off in traffic, think about the stressful day that that guy might be having, or think about that you've done the same thing too when you're really stressed out. You've also cut people off because it was a stressful day and you were trying to get through traffic. When you have to go into work to see your asshole boss, maybe you think about the stress that they're under and what might make their day better. Maybe you are kind when you see them. Maybe you bring them coffee and say, "Oh, I know you were working late last night. I thought you might like this coffee from my favorite place." See how it changes either how your boss acts or how you view your boss. Either way, it will lower your stress and it will change your experience of your reality. When your mom makes a comment about your weight, instead of the shame spiral we go to where we feel bad about ourselves and we worry about what we actually look like, think about what it must feel like to be so bogged down by your own body insecurities, to feel like weight is so connected to worthiness that you project that onto other people, including your own daughter. The reality is your almond mom who makes comments about your weight probably doesn't know the guilt-free joy that comes with splitting a pizza with friends or being on a vacation in a bathing suit without worrying about other people judging you. That is something to hold compassion for. And when you do, just watch how your insecurities decrease. The last takeaway from this month, the last thing to let go of, is actually related to that. I really want to highlight this, especially as we're getting into swimsuit season. And that is to let go of that constant loop in our heads that tells us we need to lose weight or that our bodies are not good enough. In episode 172, I gave weight loss tips that will actually help instead of the bullshit or basic advice you see everywhere. But the point I really want to stress is that the intention behind wanting to lose weight matters. For some of us, weight loss is a healthy goal that will help us feel healthier and more energized and better in our lives. For others, those of us with this constant loop, like I need to lose 5 pounds or I'm unworthy because of my weight, we often think that if we hit a certain weight or pant size, then we'll be happy, then we'll feel good about ourselves. But this isn't true. Even if we were to get 6-pack abs, we would still focus on the size of our thighs, or maybe start hating the dark circles under our eyes, or obsess over a patch of cellulite. Because self-worth and self-love are skills. They're not circumstances. So I said this in the episode, but I really want you to internalize and actually begin practicing this homework assignment now, especially again as we're getting into summer and swimsuit season. Love what's big in you. In body, in personality, in love, in confidence, in emotions, in aspirations. The space that you take up in the world physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, love what's big in you. Because we're so programmed to want to shrink. Thank you, patriarchy. So start looking for things that are big in you that you can appreciate. So for example, when you're out with your friends and you let out that big, beautiful belly laugh, take a moment to just internally think to yourself, I love how big and loud and joyful my laugh is. If you look in the mirror and you're typically thinking about what areas of your body you wish could shrink or were smaller, make the effort to scan for what you love that's big. Maybe it's just your big eyes. Maybe it's your hips that are curvy and gorgeous. If you're working for a promotion or to launch your own business, take a minute to appreciate your big aspirations and dreams. Thank yourself for having big aspirations that make you want to go after a big life. And maybe we'll focus on our bigness so much that we'll stop wishing to be so small. Those are my biggest takeaways from April's episodes. I know there were so many more and so many more episodes and pieces of wisdom that resonated with you guys. I also recommend you take this opportunity to do some personal reflection today on the past month, what April was like for you. Going with our monthly theme, you can check in with yourself about what limiting beliefs you identified or let go of, but then also overall in your life. What habits, routines, beliefs, people served you in April, made you happier, gave you more energy? And what habits or routines or beliefs or people drained you this past month, took away your happiness? If you set New Year's resolutions or intentions, now would be a great time to check in on your progress. What did you do this month that contributed to your goal? And what maybe prevented you from getting closer to your goals? It's like a mini life edit. Focus just on reflecting on April without any judgment or shame or guilt. Just analyze what served you and what didn't. Let's look ahead to May. I love this month because it starts feeling a little bit like summer, so you feel that energy and the carefree, fun vibe. I hate to bring in the cliche of April showers bring May flowers, but I do feel like since April was the month of identifying and letting go of limiting beliefs, washing away what's holding us back, month is the May of flowers. We are finally ready to bloom. Actually, wouldn't bloom be such a great intention for May? Like, let's have that as our goal or theme, whatever you want to call it. So everything we do, every career decision, every morning routine, every plan we make with friends through May, let's check in on, is this helping me bloom? Which decision feels more like blooming to me? And you can interpret that however you want. I kind of look at it like a flower is meant to be a flower, right? Before it even looks like a flower, when it's just a bud or a sprout, it is going to become a flower. It is inevitable. And when it starts to bloom, that's the becoming. That's the, oh, you're a sunflower or you're a tulip. You were always a sunflower or tulip, but you only started to look like one once you bloomed. Our blooming is our becoming. It's when we start to be the person and live the life that we always knew deep down we really were, but now we see it on the outside. So I will tailor all of our episodes in May to help you bloom, and we'll check in on this intention throughout the month. This could also be fun to make a plan for May. What routines or mindsets or goals do you want to set for this month that would help you to bloom? For me, I kind of feel like I need to get out of my house more and network more. I feel like I need to spend more time with humans instead of just my dog. I want to have more silly fun with my fiance. I want to worry less about being liked, both on this podcast and in real life. So those are some examples of my bloom goals. Let me know what your bloom goals are for this month so we can work on them together. I'll do this. I'll post on Instagram at the Everygirl podcast, and you can drop your bloom goals or what blooming looks like to you in the comments. It's kind of like setting our intentions for the month. We've got our Summer Glow Up series continuing throughout May. I have a lot of great wellness content and best self content planned for you. Come back on Tuesday. I am joined by Hinge's Director of Relationship Science, and this episode will undoubtedly help you bloom in your love life. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube or listening on Spotify or in Apple reviews if you're on Apple Podcasts, how you liked this format. I could do these every single month if you like them, or I could never do it again if you hated it. Either way, your feedback is so valuable to me because every minute I record, I try to tailor to you and making your life better. So let me know and have a great Best Self Saturday this week. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know I sure did. Please do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe. It really makes a huge difference for our show so we can keep growing and bringing the content that you love. If you want more info, you can find us at The Everygirl Podcast on Instagram or theeverygirlpodcast.com. Talk to you next week.